Hello from this grey, blue, white sky day. Just wanted to share some pointers from Ayurvedic consulting point of POV for this time of the year, because, well, it's a time of transition, and times of transition are always very, very important to pay attention to, because if we can go with those changes, we can prevent accumulation, waste products building up from the season before or from the season that we're going into, because we can prepare the body in the right way, because it operates a little bit different from season to season. And when it gets colder, the Agni, the digestive fire, tends to centralize in the middle. So we tend to have this kind of appetite for eating, but the fires aren't kind of really distributing the nutrients so effectively to the tissues all through the body. And so what tends to happen is it is easier to kind of accumulate over these months. And we definitely start to feel that after Christmas time. So how can we, from an Ayurvedic perspective, help this in some way? Well, one of the things to start off with is find ways to use digestive spices. Actually, no, number one is don't overeat. We all know that, but it can be really, really hard to practice in Christmas times. And so I will maybe make another video on an approach to how to do that. But it is not really about just not putting on weight. It's a feeling of keeping the body in balance. And yeah, so that's one thing. And the other things are finding little ways to kind of put some kindling on the fire and help it keep the lights on in all the other rooms in the houses as the winter time is happening. And so one way you can do this is by putting a bit more cumin or like cumin in your food, or ginger. I love to grate ginger into almost every meal at the moment, and I really find that warming, pungent. Ginger's a really, really special food. It's considered one of the main great medicines in Ayurveda, and that's because it has got all the 6 tastes except for one, salty. And this really, really helps. It's quite fiery and it keeps us warm. So another thing that we can do in this time of the year is to play a little bit with states of activity. So we don't want to be like crazy over hyperactive at these times, especially where the body is probably feeling quite tired, and maybe, yeah, you need to rest deeply. But still, especially in modern times, it is so easy to just stay inside and stagnate on the sofa with your device, maybe even watching this video, that yeah, it could, finding ways to get the body moving, get things circulating, going for lovely walks periodically, maybe once or even twice in a day, seeing whether some daily yoga, it doesn't need to be much, but a little bit, 20 minutes, or go to a class, feel that community with people. And that's the next tip that I'll give, but stay on the movement. And then, apart from being truly active, consciously active, is coming to truly rest. Now, this is a big challenge for somebody like me who didn't really ever learn how to rest properly, but one way that I have found is to use sound meditation. So if you don't know anything about sound meditation, that's fine, but try and create a little ritual where you can at least be with your breath, maybe once a day. Just be in a quiet space, doing absolutely nothing, turning off screens, turning off digital input for some time in the day or even the week, like we always do on Sundays. And yeah, so this is a tip. So the other one is about good company and community, because I don't know about you, but one of the biggest things that I used to find before I changed a lot of things in my life was that I couldn't stand the Christmas gatherings. I can't stand small talk. I can't stand, just a kind of superficial container where there's not really anything to do but to eat and to drink, or to gossip, or to just meet on this, hey, how are you, how's blah blah blah, how's blah blah blah, and you don't really feel like you meet. And so when I did discover Sangha, community, deeper ways to connect with myself and be in spaces where others are doing that, it was a huge relief on this level to discover that, you know, there is something in us that can meet really truly still, and wants that and needs that. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to go to a yoga class, a good, like, not just like a gym one where it's focused on the body, but where there's the aspect a little bit of the spiritual connection, the humanity within, and the light within, you know. And hopefully you'll be able to feel that in terms of resonance. So, or come to a kirtan. So mantra singing is probably my number one way to connect with people in a group without small talk, because we sing mantras and we sink immediately to the level of the heart, and this feels wonderful, amazing, uplifting. We never have to mention anything about, you know, small talk, and everybody feels great and carries that vibration onwards into their lives with their families and so on and so forth. So I hope you've enjoyed these few can't even speak now, these tips to bring you into a nice winter time. If you think of some more, I'm sure there's many more, but these are the top 4 or 5, whatever they were. And yeah, have a wonderful, cozy winter.